Family Chats. I'm Jeanette, and I am joined by Amanda,
Hello.
Shelby,
Hi.
and Eve.
Hey.
Today we're going to talk about Ginny and Georgia, episodes 1 and 2. I'm actually really excited about this one.
I am too. I was actually kind of nervous about it because I hadn't watched it since it very first came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I hope I can rewatch these 2 episodes before we do this, because if not, I'm going to be totally lost.
I rewatched this summer, but I haven't rewatched like recent.
Yeah, I rewatched when we started our group, and then I rewatched again because I got David to watch it. And so I rewatched with him. So I haven't seen it in probably a few weeks. So I'm still fresh, but we'll have Amanda to guide us through.
All right. So the first thing we see happened was Ginny is at her old school in Texas, which I guess they're in Houston.
I think it's Houston
at the time, because I think they go Austin to Fort Worth to Houston in Texas.
Yeah.
Kind of before the show starts. And that's when she gets the she's we see her kind of awkward in school. She really doesn't have any friends. Nobody's really talking to her. And then we see her teacher pull her out to let her know that her stepdad has been in the accident and did not make it, which I found kind of weird that the teacher would tell her that her stepfather died.
Usually they would pull them out and say your mom's in the office here to pick you up,
or someone's,
and the school doesn't break that kind of news. That's kind of odd.
That got me.
This is TV land, so they can do whatever they want.
This is not TV, this is real life, Eve, come on.
Ginny and George is totally real life.
Oh gosh, we'd all be in trouble.
I thought it was weird too, because I was like, you didn't even take her to the office to like break the bad news. You just broke it to her like right there in the hallway, right?
She just brought her out into the hallway and told her in the middle of the hallway.
I would have probably let it go if you took her to the office and it was like the principal or guidance counselor or someone speaking to her, but the teacher just told her in the middle of the hallway, which really
we did learn later on that she didn't really have much love for her stepdad anyway. But if she had, it's like that's a terrible way to find out that her parents died.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of episode 2, which we will talk about today, is when we find out how he died. So it's okay for us to go there.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, I think we can.
That's in the first couple of episodes.
I have no self-control, so all the episodes blend completely together.
I know. I struggle.
That's why I do the notes like I do the notes, because I have to know exactly where it begins and exactly where it ends. That way we don't start talking about episodes 3, 4, 5.
It's so wrapped up, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be taking notes, and we're already like 30 minutes in.
Right.
It takes me a long time because I have to pause while I take all these notes, because if I just start writing the notes, then I cannot multitask. So I'm going to completely miss what's ever going on the TV. So yeah, that's the beginning of it. Is they go in, she finds out her dad died, and then Ginny's driving to the new house.
What did you
while listening to who is that? Shaggy.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Doesn't she say that's not an appropriate song for
Ginny?
That was my first thought. Like it zoomed to like her little brother in the back seat. I was like, why are they playing that song with like 7-8-year-olds sitting in the back seat?
I know, but also she turns around, she goes, Austin, what's this song about? He has no idea.
He was spot on.
He does know, doesn't he?
Yeah, he said like doing it in the bathroom and getting caught or something.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he knows exactly what the song's about. He's a smart kid.
I can't.
These 2 kids are gonna be so messed up.
Because I mean, my kids listen to lots of stuff that they probably shouldn't. So.
All right. So
on task.
So Ginny teases Georgia about not getting pregnant in Massachusetts, because that would be an awful name for a child. Massachusetts or Wellsbury will also be a bad name.
I love
it could be a middle name.
Name of
and Georgia goes, well, Barry.
Yeah, there you go.
You're like, oh no.
You better hope it's a boy.
That's funny. Yeah, if you got pregnant, I feel like you'd have to move somewhere real quick that has like a nicer sounding name before you give birth, you know?
Yeah.
That's
So
funny, though.
we kind of get a feel for them kind of right off the bat
I love
of
Georgia.
the kind of mom Georgia is.
Mhm.
And you can tell Ginny is
A little uptight.
she's a little, I feel like she has to be though. I feel like she has to be a parent.
Yeah, I
She has
agree.
to be mature because I think Georgia actually is mature.
Yeah.
I think she puts on a lot of ditzy personas and I think that's just part of her charm in her eyes.
She's just not mature enough for Ginny's taste.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
think she just went through so much that she tries to find like, I don't know, tries to make everything lighthearted and fun because I don't know, I think she's a good mom. People may argue with me on this. She makes a lot of mistakes, but I think she's
no, I love her.
I think she really cares about her kids.
I do.
I think she overcompensates in like being the cool mom just because of the kind of upbringing she had.
Yeah. Which we also got to think, if she had her at like 15 and she's 50, I mean, she's only 30. So like she's really, really young.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's what, 30?
She'd be 30
right now.
I mean,
and she has a 15-year-old and a 9-year-old. I mean,
I had just an infant at 30. Like, I mean, that was, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm 33. I can barely take care of myself. So
yeah.
I had mine at 21.
Yes, Shelby.
Every questionable thing, well, I don't know about every questionable thing, but pretty much all the questionable things that she's done is, meaning Georgia, she's thought that she was doing the best for her kids in doing those questionable things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She does what she feels like she can to survive. She's going to survive no matter if she has to lie, cheat, steal. Yeah, she's going to survive. So also
she is pretty clever. You got to give her that.
She is. She's crafty
and resourceful. Well, I guess crafty and resourceful are the same things, but
yeah.
So right after that car ride is when we have the first flashback to Georgia's home life.
Yeah.
And you see that she came from a very abusive household. I don't know if that was that her dad or stepdad?
I think it's her stepdad.
It was, I think it was her stepdad, because then we find out in a later episode that was her sister's father.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
That part. And I felt like it was her stepfather who.
I don't think that becomes clear until later on.
Yeah.
Later on. Yeah.
And I don't think we ever talk about Georgia's biological father. I don't think that's ever mentioned really at all, is it?
I don't think so yet, at least.
Maybe that will be eventually. Yeah.
I have to say, though, that they did a pretty good job on casting, because I really buy that the young Georgia, I really buy her as Georgia.
She looks just like her.
Like right down to the eyebrows too. I'm like, yep, that's Georgia. That's her.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah. The actress who they casted.
Just cast. I
casted.
think it's just okay. Is it casted? Well, I'm gonna trust Eve. She's the teacher.
I don't.
They casted this show, I feel like, just as good as they did like This Is Us.
Oh yeah.
You know, This Is Us to me is one of the best casted shows.
Yeah.
Out there. Just really, I was doing okay, I'm not gonna get all off on This Is Us. But yeah, I think even a phenomenal job.
Yeah, even her sister, who we meet later on, that casting is pretty good too.
Yeah.
And Joe, I think Joe's is spot on.
The
only one I don't buy is Zion. I don't feel like they have the same. I mean, I think
I was about to say
attitude,
I think they did a good job on Zion,
but I don't know that they look that much alike to me.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think they did a pretty okay job.
I don't know. I just remember thinking that they looked very different to me.
I'm trying to. I have his young face in my head right now. I'm trying to No, I think they did a pretty good job. I'm looking at it like side by side right now. I mean, it's not like spot on, but
It's not like Georgia. I feel like
not
that
like
one
Georgia.
is amazing.
Georgia's is awesome. And there's that girl on TikTok. I just want to give her a shout out. She looks just like her.
Yeah, I know.
And I know, Jeanette, I know you follow her too.
Yeah.
She sounds just like her and she looks
sounds
just
like
like her. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the way she always comes and sits in front of the camera. Now, honey. I'm like,
I
oh,
know. I love it.
I love you.
I love Georgia's accent.
I do too. I want that accent. I'm like,
This
I'm
show
from the
in Sweet-
South. Why can't I have
I do
that?
too.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
I know
show
I'm
and
not
Sweet
far enough south.
Magnolias. Like I'm
Mhm.
loving the southern accents and all like the
Georgia.
southern things.
It's a Georgia accent, which is like
you
the
know
best.
what? I did have in my notes from here somewhere. Does Cynthia not look just like Mary Vaughn?
I don't. Well, she does look a little bit like her, but definitely like the same type of character. Because I even like was trying to think. I was like, when we were talking about Mary Vaughn before, I was like, was her husband like sick or something? And I almost said that. I was like, no, wait, that's Cynthia. Because like I get the two characters like confused, like because I feel like there's so much alike.
They look, and I think they're both realtors. Is Cynthia a realtor there? She has her own office, and I think she's a
she
realtor.
is. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
she's
think
a
they're-
realtor.
Yeah, I think they're both realtors. They had when I was watching these first couple episodes, I think just because I had just watched Sweet Magnolias,
Mhm.
that I was like, oh, there's a lot of mirroring here going on. But all right, let's keep going.
What else we got?
All right. So they arrive to the house, right? And we get to meet Ellen,
Oh, I love Ellen.
which is another one of my favorite characters.
I love her. And I just finished Schitt's Creek too, and I loved her there.
I love that whole family. I love Marcus. I love Max. I forget the dad's name. I love him. I love them all.
I do too. I really do. They're fantastic.
Because the dad can be a bit snarky too.
He's
So
so
I was
funny.
like,
but he's deaf.
I know. So he's like doing all this in sign language. It's so funny. I love it.
And he says something, and Ellen just completely doesn't even. She like makes up her own. I'm
yeah,
like,
she's
this
just
is
like,
wrong.
she's like, I'm not going to interpret that.
Yep. Yep. Mhm. Yeah. It's
Oh,
funny.
God. She's, weed is legal. I think this show has a lot to do with marijuana.
It does. I didn't really think about that till you just said it. but
I
it
didn't
does.
either until I rewatched it, and they're trying to get the dispensary.
Uh-huh.
And this happens in the first couple episodes, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now. But
with Ellen, I thought it was so funny the first time we see her, she's waving to Georgia like, hey, neighbor, with that big fake smile on her face.
That's such a real thing. Do you know how many times I've like screamed at my kids in my driveway, and then I'm looking across at my neighbor, I'm like, hey, how are you? Like,
hey,
just
we're normal
myself.
people. Hi.
Yeah. Oops.
Well, not only is she yelling at him, she's yelling at him being high in the middle of the day on the street corner.
Yeah, and
Wait a
she's like,
minute.
you are so grounded. Whatever.
And then Georgia goes and gets a joint from him later. And then Ellen still steals it to bring it over there and smoke with.
Because it was in the back of his closet labeled homework. I was like, I know he's a teenage boy and boys do really stupid things, but like how dumb can you get?
No.
A bag labeled homework?
It was better when he was hiding it in Max's room.
Yeah, he hides it in Max's room.
She never searches your room.
Because he goes in like he's gonna kiss Jenny.
Yeah.
He grabs
That's what
the
she
joint.
thought too.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought. I mean, he was going in there.
Well, she does kiss him right after
Mhm.
that.
I love their relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
We should talk Ellen.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ellen.
Yeah.
Let's discuss Ellen. Let's get into that because I think we all love her character. And
I love, what was it she says? Oh, when they're just talking about kids, she's like, how old were you? And she's like, 15. And she's like, oh my God, 15.
she goes, shit, 15.
I love it.
Nodding her head.
Yeah.
I lost my pen.
But no, I don't know. I love her friendship with Georgia. It's because like I my first thought was, when you look at, Ellen looks like the typical like Wellsbury type mom, where she's going to be really proper and but then you like meet her and you're like, oh wait, no, she's cool. We like her,
We like Ellen.
So
she's a good balance. She's like a Wellsbury mom. Like she fits in with the other Wellsbury moms, but she's much cooler than, like she's a little more down to earth than they are. So it's a nice even balance.
She's probably been dying for somebody like Georgia to move to town that she can hang out with. And smoke
like these ladies are
pot with,
Like these ladies are making me nuts. Like I need a
And like when she's when the girls go to the basement party.
Yeah.
She tells Ellen how to get to Max's real Instagram.
She's like, that's not a real one.
like, oh no, this is the parents' Instagram. You want me to get her real one?
Vivian Lee. Really? Thankfully, I don't think many kids would probably know who Vivian Lee was. So
no.
I mean, I was raised with it, but I don't know how many kids nowadays are raised with it.
Yeah, probably not.
But
No, I don't know who that is.
What?
Shelby.
Oh, bless your heart.
It's from Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. You've never seen Gone with the Wind.
That's the actress that plays Scarlett.
So that's pretty much Ellen in the first couple episodes. We don't really see too much for past that.
Can we talk about Marcus and Max?
So yeah, Marcus. I love Marcus.
I love Marcus.
He's such the bad boy.
He is.
And we're not supposed to like him with Ginny. I don't think we're supposed to.
I don't think we're supposed to like them together, but I love them together.
Oh my gosh, I love them together. But I did not realize, I guess I blocked it out of my head of what they did the very first night.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he crawls through her window that first night that they're in the house, right?
Yeah. It's after
Oh no, it's a couple of nights because I think it's the first day of school.
It's still pretty quickly.
Is it?
Because it's right after she kisses him, I think, after when she's hanging out with Max after school.
Yeah.
All right,
Marcus
so
and Ginny.
Marcus
climbs through a window and they have sex and they've like literally just met.
Yes, and that was her first time, by the way.
She didn't tell him that.
She didn't say anything.
Well, she was about to. She was like, that was, and he's like, okay, gotta go. Like, dude, seriously?
But we do find out later that it was his first time too. I know that's like a spoiler, but I mean, like, I think it has to be said here because I mean, just I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, Maureen. This is the part where you plug your ears.
Marcus is one of the, I don't know. He's my tortured bad boy of the show.
He is. He's such a tortured soul. You just like have to love him.
Like that
but
lost little puppy who's been left out in the rain.
No, I think, well, I mean, it's because of his friend, which I don't know if we know that yet, so maybe we don't need to dive deep into that, but
yeah.
But
that's what it is, Eve. No, but you still love him though.
Yeah.
He has this tortured bad boy.
And the chemistry with him and Ginny is just, I mean, you can't deny it. It's like crazy.
It's so there.
Yeah.
Yes, Shelby.
I did not like him.
Oh, Shelby.
How can we kick Shelby out of here?
Mute her.
Is Shelby fired now?
Get out of here.
You can do what you want.
You hunter lover.
I liked him as it went on, but I did not care for him because, well, Ginny kind of made me mad too, but I feel like I'm all about loyalty, and I feel like he betrayed his sister. And Ginny betrayed Max.
I don't know if it's really Max as much as it is. I guess it is Max's, but just as much as it is Hunter. But she had already gone, did she had already gone on a date with Hunter? Or they were just
I don't think they went on their date yet.
I think this was before she started dating Hunter.
Yeah. I think he asked her out like the next day or something.
Okay. I think that might be what it is. I know it was really close.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I agree.
She's 15.
Yeah.
Or 16. I think she's 16.
I wouldn't do that to my friend.
She has her 16th birthday at some point during that
she's still
season.
15 at this
Okay.
time. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, she's 15 years old. And then she goes out and gets Plan B, which
And that pharmacist was just
Oh
a
my
total
gosh.
jerk.
yeah, you're supposed to hand it to me, say have a nice day.
I mean, saying,
wow,
doesn't the
go
man
Ginny.
usually buy this?
I
I'm
don't
like,
think she said it like that. She's like, I think it was supposed to give it to me, tell me to have a goddamn good day or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was saying it nicer.
Well, I guess Maureen can cut that part out. So.
Naughty, no. I mean, we're
Yeah,
quoting.
I got
him.
yelled at for saying shit. You're getting yelled at for saying that.
When it's a direct, just throw up quotations. It's a direct quote. What can you do?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a direct quote from the show.
Yeah.
Another direct quote from the show is we're like the Gilmore Girls with bigger boobs. It just came up on my list. It was the
Yeah.
next thing to say. So I had to get it out there because another one of our shows that we podcast on is Gilmore Girls.
Well, the Gilmore Girls did have that one argument about who was bigger. So
True.
They did.
I mean, it holds up.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like Ginny has that big of boobs. So
Yeah, but Georgia does. It's all good. My guess is Georgia has gotten those somewhere along the way, probably from one of the ex-husbands. I'm
I'm sure.
making that assumption. Yeah.
all right. So
We talked about Shelley. We mentioned Max. What do you all think about her? I adore her.
I love
I
like
love
Max.
Max.
I
Yeah.
think she's super dramatic, and sometimes she annoys me, but she also makes me laugh.
She
So I
is
love her.
feisty and
Love her.
spunky and fun. I love her.
I agree.
I
I
wanna
like
be
her a
Max
lot
right
better
now.
than I do A&N, whatever their names are. It's Abby.
Abby and Nora.
I
Nora.
like Abby a lot because she's got that snarky like attitude. Nora, I
Yeah.
can take or leave, to be honest.
But I really don't like how they just threw Jenny under the bus whenever they stole from that store.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty typical. I mean, imagine this is a girl you've just met too, and are you really gonna like? I don't know. At 15, I don't know that I don't know.
Hey, quiet.
Well, and then Georgia scared the bejesus out of them too. So
Yeah, I think I forgave them only because they made up for it like later, and I think they were true friends to her after
I
that.
do too.
Because at first I was worried like they're just mean girls, but I think they made up for it, and I think they were legitimate friends to her after that. So
Yeah. I think them coming over, just the two of them, and bringing the makeup and giving Jenny that kind of little makeover and hanging
Yeah.
out with her without Max.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of them apologizing and trying to make up for how they
Yeah.
had treated her during that day.
I agree.
Really, after Georgia totally called her out on her shirt while she was walking up to the house,
Hmm.
while her and Ellen were on the balcony.
What about that scene? I love Georgia with that, like how she just turns that around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like I want to be Georgia when I grow up. I absolutely adore. I just love how like cunning she is. I mean, she can get herself out of any situation.
Oh yeah.
Love it. I know you probably shouldn't aspire to be someone like Georgia Miller, but I do. I like her. I can't help it.
I like her in a fantasy world. I don't think I would actually like to be like her, but it's like I love her character.
Yeah.
Because man, that girl's had a hard life.
Yeah.
She's had a very hard life. And I think in the first couple episodes, we kind of already get that feeling of
Yeah.
she's been through heck and back. And she's surviving. She's a survivor.
She is a survivor.
Talking about being a survivor, I like her what she does when she can't sleep at night either.
Yeah, I mean, Maureen, cover your ears. No, that cracked me up. It cracked me up.
God, and she was sitting there. She was sitting there charging it too with her glass of wine. I was like, she is really desperate.
Yeah, Shelby's trying to
Still
remember. Do
connected
you
to the
remember,
wall.
Shelby? Okay, good. We're trying to be good. She's needing some relief so she can go to sleep. Just to relax a little.
Well,
When
yeah.
that doesn't work, she's got to charge it. Might as well have a glass of wine while you're sitting there watching it charge, which is just, I don't know. It made me laugh so hard.
My favorite part is just you can see it still charging in the wall, and she's
It is,
trying
and she uses it. Yep.
Yeah, and she's just
Wait a
looking
minute.
at it, and she's like, drinking her red wine, dancing around, and like, she's really gonna, wait this out.
It's hilarious.
But she's doing that. She's drinking her wine. Neither of those are working.
Nope.
And she runs across the street to Marcus
And I
and
mean,
grabs a baggie from him.
the look on his face is just like, I mean, because I mean, it's Georgia too. I mean, like, she's gorgeous. This gorgeous woman.
And she has those teeny
approaching
tiny
me.
little shorts on.
Yeah. It's so funny. And he just gives it right to her, doesn't he? Like, okay.
Yeah. He's like, okay, here. I mean,
Right.
what else are you gonna do?
So funny.
All right. So let's move on from that. So Maureen can uncover her ears. So then after that, we flash back to when Mary has escaped and she runs into the I don't know her name. The biker lady.
Either.
Do you ever know her name?
I
Did they
don't
tell us?
I don't remember if they ever gave her a name to begin with.
I'm checking.
Yeah, I don't know,
I don't
but
think they did.
I'm gonna say biker lady
Mm-hmm.
that taught Mary Georgia what she knows.
Yep.
Mary Georgia.
It's still Mary at this point.
It is.
She looks at the sign when she goes to introduce herself to biker lady, and that's when she forms Georgia.
Georgia.
She looks at the sign, it says Georgia, she goes with Georgia.
That's what it didn't occur to me until she introduced herself as Georgia, where I was like, oh, okay, that's who that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because all you hear is Mary.
Yeah, and at first I was like, who the heck is this Mary girl?
Which, by the way, Georgia does not look like a Mary.
Yeah, I was
No,
like,
I
that
don't
was
think I
smart to change her name to Georgia because she doesn't look like a Mary.
She looks like a Georgia.
Yeah, I think
Sounds like a
fits her
Georgia.
perfectly. Yeah.
So
Got the attitude of a Georgia.
do we know, is she from Georgia?
Do
Do
they
we
say?
know this?
I don't know if they say.
I don't know if she escaped and went to Georgia, and then that's where
Maybe she's from
the rest of
Florida
her story begins.
or
But
something like that.
She's obviously somewhere around Georgia. She has the accent, but I don't know if we ever find out if she's actually.
she definitely spent a lot of years in Georgia, I would guess.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at my own notes over here.
Oh, I thought it
So-
was something I said. I was like, what did I do this time?
Sorry, I'm just way off. I'm over here in Amanda land. I was thinking about the next thing we're going to talk about and just made me start laughing of when she's dropping Austin off at his first day of school. And she's talking about Harry Potter.
That was sweet how she talked, like she's like, you are magic.
And Ron is a pussy.
Ron is a pussy.
That is a quote, Maureen.
Well,
Quote.
Direct quote from the show.
so funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
Maureen's
to be
like,
honest,
I'm glad I
sometimes
didn't
he
watch
is,
this.
you know?
Maureen's going to take Ginny and Georgia off the podcast list. It's really not that bad.
She's gonna have to hire someone else to record it
It's
for us.
not.
It's really not that bad.
No,
Honestly, it's rated TV 14. You
It's
don't
like-
see anything.
the bad scenes are just kind of racy, but there's not very many of them.
Yeah. There's far and few between, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So she gets Austin to go to school. She meets the three moms.
Oh, I hate those moms.
The three moms.
The way she
stuck-up
handles
moms.
them.
Oh my gosh. And they want to change the food because they're all eating fast food. Pizza, hamburgers, macaroni and cheese. What
Like,
was it?
what
That's
else
what I
do-
eat. That's what I eat for dinner.
That's what I eat for dinner sometimes. What else do children eat? I mean, like, if my kids, that's what they eat. I don't know how you're supposed to get them to eat other stuff.
Apparently they only need to be eating organic,
Well,
which again, there goes Georgia saving the day.
and don't you love how I love in that scene too, again, when they bring it up, she's like, well, she somehow spins it so she finds out what they want to hear so that she can say that. And I just love how she does that every time.
And she's just like, that does sound like a real problem.
Yep. 'Cause I think at first they really think she's like totally like one of them, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she puts on an act
mhm.
and she acts like she is one of them.
Yeah.
But as we already know, that's far from the case. But I think she wants to fit in
I think
as
she
much
does.
as I don't feel like she can.
Yeah.
I feel like she fights between herself. She does want to fit in. She wants to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to fit in.
She wants to
But
feel
then again,
safe.
she
but
wants.
then she also, yeah, but then she also knows who she is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she doesn't want to compromise that. So,
Mhm.
which is why her friendship with Ellen just worked out so well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think here in Wellsbury, she's finally found some people that she really can be herself, and they're going to accept her for who she is. You know, Ellen, Paul, Joe, I think all of them just like
Yeah.
her for who she is.
I do too. I
And
just
even the guy that
Um,
works with Paul, I think they become
Nick.
really good friends, you know. I can't remember his name.
Nick,
Yes, Nick.
because Nick is so in love with Paul.
Nick. I love him. I didn't think I would at first, but then
I
grew
didn't.
up.
I hated him at first, and
I did
then
too.
I think by episode 3, I was like, "Oh, I really love him."
Yep. Yeah.
Where I finally started liking him is when he goes, Georgia, it's 1:00. Go get lunch. And then she calls him out with liking Paul. And then
Mhm.
she's like, Nick, it's 1:00. Go get lunch. And he gets up and goes and gets it.
I think that's probably the moment he started liking her too. He just realized, like,
Mhm.
okay, she just gave it back to me.
Oh
We
yeah,
can be friends.
I love that
She
part.
can hang.
All right, so let's go ahead and touch base on Paul since we're already kind of there, because kind of next where comes up in my notes is where Georgia and Paul finally meet for the first time. Actually,
Jason Street.
It wasn't because of Jason Street, which I know I'm supposed to say that because of Friday Night Lights. But the reason I started watching the show was because I saw something and I was like, oh my God, it's George Tucker.
Mm,
I need to watch
yes.
this because I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah. I'm surprised we don't have a group for Heart of Dixie, if I'm being completely honest. I'm
I'm-
not making any more groups, y'all,
I'm just saying.
right now.
You say that now. We'll
I've
see what
already
happens.
said, I already threw out Teen Wolf earlier today. I'm like, can y'all just watch this so I can make Styles TikToks here, please?
Just make edits for yourself, okay?
Well, I guess I can do that. Okay.
Make them be a background of your phone. I still got to finish Teen Wolf too.
That's what I was
But
doing before we hopped on.
I love Heart of Dixie too. And I could also do a group around Virgin River. I
know.
can do all these shows. These are, I don't know, these little clusters of shows that like came up, Heart of Dixie, Virgin River, Sweet Magnolias, Ginny and Georgia, they all, I feel like, have a very similar kind of feeling that I don't know, they just get like
They've
the same
got a
feeling.
Gilmore Girls type vibe, which is why we like them.
They really do. They have like that little wholesome town, everybody knows everybody kind of feeling that, again, Gilmore Girls gives you.
Yeah. Ginny and Georgia's less wholesome. Appears wholesome on the outside, the town does, but it's got some characters. Yeah. So Paul. I really like Paul. I think
the
Paul's
wine guy.
a good guy.
Oh no, no friends laughs. Dang it, Maureen, when I need you on here.
What is it?
I said Paul the wine guy.
Oh, sorry,
Paul?
I don't get you.
Anytime you say Paul, that's where my head immediately goes. Is Paul the wine guy? It's like the first episode of Friends, y'all.
Like, what's everybody's thoughts on Paul? And then we can probably touch on like stuff that, happens, I think.
You're gonna have to edit out the first hour of this, and then
Paul's a good guy, but I feel like that's all there is to him, really.
I feel like Paul's very like he has no idea what he's getting into.
But I don't know. See, I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know. I feel like if Paul found out anything real about Georgia, I feel like he would totally turn his back. Like, I don't
think he would.
See, I don't know. I get this feel. I know you love Paul. That's because you like George, but
he's very George Tucker like, don't you?
He is. He is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot like George Tucker is, but
he's not my favorite ship for Georgia though. So I mean, he's not.
No, I think hopefully we all have. I don't know who even Shelby are on team. I know I'm on Team Joe.
Team Joe, definitely.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all like Joe.
Joe's the only acceptable answer to this.
Well,
Joe's the
I know
correct answer.
People are still holding out for Zion.
I don't like Zion at all.
I love Zion.
I like Zion. I don't want Zion with Georgia.
Him and Ginny he and Georgia are great together as friends and co-parents, but I cannot buy them as a couple.
No.
Yeah. What do you think, Shelby? What were you saying?
I said, now that you said that Joe's the only option, now I'm Team Paul. I switched.
Well, I mean, Paul's acceptable to me as well, so I'm okay with that.
I am not. For the
It's Team
record, I am
Zion.
not with that.
No.
It's
I
Team
like
Zion
Paul.
that will provoke trouble with me, you know?
Exactly. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that was you. No one tells Shelby what to do.
That's right.
Exactly. I'm just like Jeanette's kid, Shelby. Damn it.
Oh yeah. What do you guys think about Ginny's outburst?
I loved it.
Loved it.
I loved it.
That teacher was a, word I'm not supposed to say.
Yes, exactly. I
don't want to say it, but I'm not going to say it. No.
I think I cheered like out loud. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Max goes and technically she ends up backing her up. But when she started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, please be nice. Please be nice. Because she could have just totally not been nice. But I think she's also very female power.
Oh yeah.
Max is, of course. But yes, I love that part so much. And then that is actually after they've gotten together, I think, because that's when no, that's when, oh my gosh.
See, I
I'm
think
really
we've hit some of your notes
losing it.
on-
I'm losing it.
We've already hit some of them. We've jumped around some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. I'm just going to take us somewhere else. So we're just going to go from there.
I'll pull them up too. Okay.
Like after class, though, remember when Max and Ginny were talking, and I'm using air quotes because it was probably like a 10-minute scene of Max talking, and she didn't let Ginny get a word in edgewise, and she's like, she's my new best friend, I love her. I'm like, how do you know? You haven't let her say a single word in the 10 minutes you've been talking to her.
Yes.
She's
And that's
so
when
adorable.
that's when I felt like they left school early, and that's when they
She
saw
was like,
Georgia and Paul.
She was like, oh yeah, you're right, let's go off campus and get burgers or I don't know, something. I was like, she's right about what? She said nothing. But the whole time I'm like, I love this girl.
Oh yeah,
I like
I
her
do too. What's up, Shelby?
Yeah, because they went off campus, and then that's when they seen Georgia with Paul, and then Ginny got mad because Georgia basically promised that it wasn't going to be like this again, and like they weren't going to let, like she wasn't going to get another guy in her life or whatever, and like it's all coming back to me right now, but like she wasn't going to get another guy in her life, and then Ginny basically caught her in the act of like flirting and doing whatever she does.
Yeah.
And she got mad, and then I don't even think they ended up getting lunch or anything because she like stormed off, if I remember right.
Yeah. Do you guys think though that Georgia was trying to actually flirt with Paul for that reason, or she was just trying to get a job?
I
Trying to
think
get a
she
job.
was flirting, but that's just who Georgia is. She flirts to get what she wants. I don't think she was flirting because she wanted to date the guy.
I think she was flirting to try to get the job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't think when she came to Wellsbury, she had any intention of needing to do that. It wasn't until she realized like this money's not kicked in and I've got to do something. I've got to get a job. And
But I don't know, because when they were rolling into town, remember she looked at the poster and she made a comment on his looks.
Well, I mean, he's handsome though. So I mean, I don't think, but I mean, I guess I'm saying when she made that promise to Jenny, I don't think she had intentions of breaking it.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
she was trying, I mean, she was meaning that she was there to focus on her and her kids, and but then Paul, he's very handsome and he's the mayor. I mean, it's kind of hard to resist,
I mean, just because you say someone's handsome doesn't mean that you want to get with them either. I mean, look how many people Jeanette's married, and look how many people.
It's a good start though,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
because even when she started working there, I don't think she intended on dating Paul.
I don't think so either. I think she was just really trying to find a job, because as we kind of see while she's trying to get the job, that her cards starts to get declined.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I think she meant to do that so
I
he'd feel
think she
more
was
pity
shocked.
for her
Mm-hmm.
to give her a job. But then she went to the store and tried to use it. And I was like, well, maybe she wasn't. She was genuinely surprised that it did get declined, because then she went to that store just to prove it further that yes, she could not afford that purse because her card was getting declined.
Right.
And
She
so
still got
that's
the purse though.
that witch of an ex-wife, which I don't know why she has anything to do with her ex-husband's franchise business.
Because she's a gold digger too.
Yeah. Ex-wife, go. But that's, and the end of episode 2 is when we kind of see that she's going to the private investigator and getting that. I don't even know. I can't remember the guy's name. He's going to come in later episodes, but the private investigator kind of weasels his way into the life.
Yeah.
Oh, guys are going to start getting me worked up. Yeah. Who does he get close to? He gets close to Nick.
Which
Is
I
that
felt
who
so
it was?
bad because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, poor Nick really likes him, you know?
Yeah, this guy's just totally screwing them over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think Georgia gets way more mad about that.
Mhm.
That's not
We're not there yet.
So
Oh, that guy gets on my nerves.
okay, so we did that. All right. Biker flashback, Georgia meets Zion.
Yeah. Georgia meets Zion. She meets him at the biker bar where she also meets the biker lady. And kind of we go from there to that's when Ginny goes to, you don't really see too much. She meets Zion and they kind of, the flashbacks in the show are very short.
Yeah.
They don't really linger too much. Yeah, I think they have a couple longer ones later on episodes, but these first 2 ones, it's pretty short little snippets of how Mary became Georgia, I guess.
Like the flashbacks though, if we're being honest.
You do or do not?
I do.
I
like
do too.
That.
It helps me understand Mary Georgia.
Yeah.
Is that her new name, Mary Georgia?
Mary Georgia.
That's her new name.
Call her MJ
MJ.
or MG.
I'm from the South. I kind of like saying the 2 names right in a row. Mary Georgia. It kind of goes together.
Mary Vaughn, Mary Georgia. It just flows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next point. Ginny goes to Max's house. Max gives Ginny a jacket, asks if she has a boyfriend.
And she says no.
Marcus asks if she's stalking him. He acts like he's going to kiss her and grabs weed.
Yeah, which we've already kind of touched on that
we
part.
talked about that part.
But I feel like that was so nice of Max. She welcomes her. She invites her over. She gives her the jacket to kind of, I feel like that kind of eases Ginny's like, is this girl fake? Or I think she was still kind of scared of Max at that time.
Yeah.
Since she's really never had a real friend.
Right.
And now she's this girl, first day of school. She's already at this girl's house.
Mm-hmm.
Max is already, saying, oh, you're so great and everything. So I feel like she's confused at the beginning. She doesn't know what's going on.
It's like, I'm not a likable person. Like, why is this girl like showing so much interest? But I think that's just how I get the impression that's just how Max is. She wants to include people that seem like decent people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as soon as Ginny opened her mouth and said what she did to the teacher, I think that Max just went, I think she earned a lot of respect for Ginny at that moment of fighting for women's rights and racial rights. And I think Max is very pro all that. And it was probably nice really in Wellsbury to have somebody like that who will speak their mind and say what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
Shelby.
I think too, part of it, like she was kind of keeping Max at arm's distance because she's used to moving around so much and she didn't want to get close to somebody to just leave her.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I know when I was a teenager, I got burned a lot too, like as far as like friends go and stuff. So I mean, maybe she was even burned before too and didn't want to open up. But that's another reason why I didn't like the whole thing with her and Marcus, because I felt like, Max opened up to you, like she was your first friend, like she was the first one that was nice to you when you moved here and blah blah blah, and then you just go and date her brother or hook up with her brother or whatever you want to say.
Well, you know what? Max needs to get over it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, also, she met Max and Marcus at the same time.
She did.
So like her and Marcus became friends just as quickly as her and Max did. So I don't see
I don't know. Is she mad that it happened, period? Or is she mad that you didn't tell her about it?
I think she's just mad at everything because she's dramatic. And I love Max, but I think she's just dramatic and makes everything about her.
Because I could understand her being upset that they hid it from her and they never said anything. But that's as far as that goes.
Yeah, they should have told her. I agree.
Yeah, Ginny's known Marcus as long as she's known Max. Well, longer than she's known Max. I think she met Marcus first.
She did, I think.
I don't know if she met Marcus first, but I know she saw him first.
She saw him first, yeah.
Because she saw him sneaking out of the house.
His little thing, like when he climbed out the window with the skateboard. Yeah. I love that little thing that he does. So
his little salute.
Twins, right? Max and Marcus.
Yeah, they're twins.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to actually look that up because I couldn't remember if he was like a grade older than her or if they were twins. I knew it was twins. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, I've got the notes here too.
All right. So then she goes out there, she steals doesn't really steal it. She takes Marcus's motorcycle for a joyride while Georgia's up there drinking her wine, watching it shake her head.
I loved her reaction. What was it? Virginia Miller, you little idiot.
Yeah. I think that scene is so cringy. I know it's supposed to be cute, but the way she steals his bike, like, I don't know, it seems weird to me. I didn't like it.
I really honestly didn't like that scene either. And then she kisses him, which I felt was like, and then he goes and gets in the car with his girlfriend.
Padma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what the heck is this?
Yeah. Oh, which I didn't like that girl either.
Me neither. I mean, not that there was anything wrong with her, just I don't think
she's in the way.
She didn't bring anything to the show. I mean, they didn't have her do anything, so
no,
I don't care about her either way.
Wasn't there a quote on Gilmore Girls referring to guys on motorcycles that Lorelai said to Rory or something?
Yeah, I think that's in the article about Christopher and Zion paralleling each other because of the motorcycle and all that stuff.
Well, technically, it could thing Marcus too then because of the motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, because Lorelai, you're not getting on his motorcycle, but that's beside the point.
But Ginny just feels it. She doesn't even ask.
Yeah. The next thing on the list is Georgia when she lets Austin punch Cynthia's son. I loved it. I know it was awful.
That was bad parenting.
Yeah, as a teacher, I was like, you can't do that. That's terrible. But I was really like, I like her. That kid is a little twerp.
She didn't punch him. She just let Austin punch him.
She let Austin punch him, yeah.
He does. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He's a child. He didn't deserve it.
Well, maybe that little kid won't mess with him anymore. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, sometimes bullies, I don't know.
Austin can pack a punch. I mean, that was pretty impressive.
You know, he was mean to Austin.
That poor little kid. And then later when Georgia sends all the popsicles to the school.
So she's like, just a reminder, you're not allowed to eat sugar. Here's some carrots.
So funny. And I was thinking, would they even do that? I mean, Eve as a teacher.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think would they really give
we did. In preschool,
no, they would drop it. They would drop it in the office, call me and say there are popsicles waiting in the office. Do you want us to bring them to you?
Yeah.
And I would not interrupt my lesson and be like, okay, everyone come up and get a popsicle, because then that's just
my thing.
Chaos.
I was like, man, I would be so mad if somebody came in there and interrupted my she was like in the middle of teaching actually something. It wasn't like free time. That would have made me mad as a teacher in my teacher brain.
It's an end of the day type thing, you know?
Apparently this teacher had no problem with it. She seemed happy about it. So
that scene where he punched the kid, Cynthia's son, that was the first scene from Ginny and Georgia that I saw, because it was like a clip on Facebook, and like there was a song behind it. I forget what the song was. It might have been the I Don't F With You song or something like that. But anyway, I was watching the video and I remember seeing it, and like that was what made me want to watch it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this show or movie or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. I don't think Austin gets enough credit for the show.
I love him.
I honestly forget about him sometimes just
The
because
Harry Potter glasses.
he's little, but oh yes, I want to eat him so bad. Not
Not in a
right.
violent way.
Yeah, leave
for
it.
the
Maureen's not
listening.
here, so Amanda's going to be the creepy one today.
What?
He said, "I just want to eat him."
Well,
I know what you mean. We're just joking.
isn't that normal? Is that a normal saying?
No, it is. I mean,
Okay. I was like, oh my gosh.
But we have to have the "we're not violent" disclaimer in there.
disclaimer, you know.
Well,
We do not
wanna-
promote violence, just so everyone knows.
You know, when you see like baby toes, like what's the first thing you want to do? You want to eat them. I don't know.
Oh, I want to get away from them because I don't like toes.
Shelby's like, keep those baby toes away from me.
Me.
No, I love baby toes. That's off topic though.
Right.
So
So
Hunter asking Jenny on a date. We haven't even talked about Hunter yet.
we kind of did.
Ugh.
We have to talk more.
Ugh.
Poor
Why,
guy.
Mom?
I really don't want to talk about him. I just don't like him.
You know, I follow the actor now, like on Instagram. He seems perfectly normal and really nice. And so just want to throw that
Well,
out there that
and
I think he's a
the whole-
great guy.
The whole thing is
Hunter.
really his character's good. Like he's a good guy in the
He's
show.
a good,
That's
solid.
why I don't
kid.
like him.
I think so. And then you put him up against Marcus, and it's just like,
Just, yeah.
you know, he had like the devil and
Yeah.
the angel on each shoulder, and that's just kind of what
There's
we're
just
dealing with.
nothing. There's just nothing fun or exciting about him.
I mean, he's too not. I mean, there's no like, I don't know. He has no edge at all. Like
What? I'm sorry. Here we go. What 16-year-old boy, after getting nailed in the eye with a tampon, thinks I'm going to go get her snacks?
Nobody. I mean, no.
And now, like, yeah, me watching that as an older woman, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so cute and sweet.
But
But
really,
no, no
at
boy's actually going to do
16?
that.
I
at
think
16.
I would have thought that was creepy. Like, oh my God, why are you bringing this to me? Like,
Yeah, now you're
let's
just
not
like,
think about this
Yeah, I
right
would have
now.
been
Bringing it back
mortified.
up.
It's like, let's not talk about anything that has anything to do with what just happened with me
Yeah.
throwing the tampon in your face.
Yeah.
by the way, it was an excellent scene.
And see, I'm weird. I would rather have, like, let's say the situation was reversed and it was Marcus. He would have made a joke and be silly about it. Like, that's what I would have wanted.
That's
Like, make me
normal.
laugh about it. Like, you know.
But no,
Yeah.
Hunter's just too soft for me. And I feel like Ginny would eat Hunter alive.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah.
If not Ginny, Georgia would.
Like, in my opinion, Hunter doesn't fit in with that crowd at all.
No.
Like, even the other guys,
Mm-mm.
he doesn't fit in with them. Maybe a little bit with Nora's boyfriend, the other guy in the band, the drummer or whatever. But
Ginny even brought that up. Like, she asked him, it's like, why are you friends with, these people? It's like,
yeah.
You're so different. But I don't know. I got the impression that he was friends with all of those people for like a long, long time, like
Yeah.
since elementary school, it sounded
It's a
like.
small town, so that's probably how it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem to fit in with that crowd in any other way except that they'd known
He
each
was in
other
the
for
band.
so long. Yeah.
He was in the band with them.
What was it? Three Sexy Boys? Is that the name of the band?
I think
Oh, I don't even
3SB.
remember.
3SB.
It's like 3SB, Three Sexy Boys. And what was it? I think Nora gave him that name or something.
Like Nora or Abby did.
Yeah, one of those two. I think Abby. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
That sounds like more of an Abby thing.
It does.
Too.
But no, that I don't like Hunter. I'm sorry. I
I
just
don't like
don't.
him either.
There
Is
was,
it- Do you like him, Shelby? Does anybody like Hunter?
I think Shelby does.
Yeah. He gets on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't
And
dislike
I
him.
don't think he fits in.
I dislike him.
I do.
I'll
And
say
really,
I
there's
do.
no reason
I have
and-
no reason. Well, other than he's just
other than the
cringy.
fact he's getting in the way.
He's cringy, and I don't care for him at all.
I mean, on paper, he's perfect. But
Even for me, I know, not on paper. He's not even perfect. I mean, that we won't get into the things he does
Well,
later on. We'll just drop
yeah,
it now because
There's
Yeah.
some things he does later on where I'm like, I do not like
Yeah.
this guy. You need to go away.
yeah, that's later on. So they go on a date.
does he
I
doesn't even
think-
kiss her, right?
No, he doesn't kiss her. He hugs her. It's kind of an awkward hug.
Real awkward hug. I was like,
Very
oh,
awkward
we're
hug.
doing a hug.
And then George is on the balcony. Woo woo.
And I think Ellen was there
Ellen
too.
and- yeah.
Ellen was there too. That's when they were
That's when they were high.
up there
Yeah.
smoking.
They're
That's
smoking
what it
Marcus's
was.
Stash, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that's all
weird.
that.
All right. Move on from Lame Hunter.
We're almost done.
Oh, we haven't talked about the car picnic. I love the car picnic.
I love the car picnic too.
Like it made me like, I want to do this. But then I was like, nah, I don't really want to do this because that's just a mess in my car. But I thought about it. I was like, how fun to just get like tons of junk food and just have a big old fat car picnic.
I'd love to do that. I mean, not now because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside in
Yeah.
Phoenix. Maybe in December when it's like in the 70s. But yeah, that would be fun.
How fun.
Oh yeah.
What did they
it's-
have like, wasn't it like a bacon wrap? Some kind of donut.
It was like a
bacon
bacon
donut.
donut.
And Jenny was like,
That's what I get when I go to the
Yeah,
donut place.
Then Ginny was like, Ginny tried and she was like, this is putrid, and she threw it down. And then Austin picked it up.
He's like, this is good. And then Georgia grabs it out of his hands. Goes back.
thought
I'm really intrigued. I need to try this bacon donut now.
Oh my, really? You've never
I've
had?
not had one either.
Never had
really?
bacon donut.
I'm judging you guys right now.
I
I'm
want
really judging
one,
you guys right now
but
because
I see
Yeah.
those.
Like,
I see those judgy eyes.
you know those like it's like they put it's like candied bacon on top of like the maple, a bacon maple donut.
Huh.
It's really freaking
So
good.
good.
Sounds freaking delicious. I need to find it somewhere.
We have one by us, and they put like a lot of them have like how you saw her like the crumble the bacon on top.
Uh-huh.
I have one that does like an eclair. I don't know what you guys call them.
It's an eclair. Yeah.
Eclair too. Okay, they have an eclair, and they put like the maple frosting on it, and they put a whole strip of bacon, like
Ooh,
long
love
ways on it
that.
too.
Oh wow,
It is.
that's like a full-blown breakfast just right there, all in one.
That's enough for me. That's
little
all I eat.
donut.
I mean, bacon on anything sounds perfect for me.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I need to get. It's called Hypnotic Donuts here. I know other
They
donuts.
have they have, well, I don't know if you'll be in Maryland again, East, but if you find a Duck Donuts, they have them there. And
They have them
in
at.
Maryland.
They have them at Duck Donuts. Oh, I have to stop at a Duck Donuts next time I'm on the East Coast.
I'm sure you can find them even in
I'm
Phoenix.
sure there's somewhere.
Look up those like exotic donut places. I know we have several of them, and Phoenix
You
has.
can make your own ones or
restaurants.
whatever.
We'll have to drive
We have
somewhere because my town has, 5,000 people, so we don't have.
We do
donut
have a
places
lot
like
of
that.
specialty like food places here, so I'm sure they have bacon donuts somewhere. Okay, so that's our homework before the next podcast. We all need to try bacon donuts.
Bacon donuts.
I'll write it down.
Let's see. I'm looking here to see what else the school meeting. We haven't talked about the school meeting and how Georgia convinces Joe to provide those healthy lunches and please everybody. I just
That
loved
was
it.
just so smooth how
So
she did
smooth.
that. She just roped him in like it was nothing, and he's standing there like, what
Just
did
happened.
she just do? Like, what did she sign me up for?
Okay, I do have something to kind of piggyback off that.
Yeah.
Like, when do we think they realize who each other are?
I think he doesn't realize until he sees the sunglasses and Jenny tells him the whole, half a sandwich or so sunglasses and half a sandwich changed my life, and she does that whole voice or
Okay.
whatever. Like,
That's right.
I think that's when it clicks for him. I go back and forth on whether Georgia knows.
I don't know if I don't think it's clicked for her. I think it's
think-
finally clicked for Joe, like with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
'Cause I think he recognized the sunglasses.
But I mean, he is the whole reason that she went to Wellsbury.
Mhm.
So do we think that she just doesn't even recognize him or his name or anything?
I don't think she's put it together yet because when he mentions the horse milkshake, which I love it, it's like it all like a light bulb almost goes off, but
Yeah, because she was like, what did you just say?
maybe so much has happened that she just doesn't remember all those details, and it's going to come back to her eventually here.
Like when we very first meet Joe, like when he walks into her the restaurant, she doesn't even look up for her menu, and she goes, "Hey, Joe." And I didn't notice it the first time I ever saw it, but I went, But when I was rewatching today, I was like, wait, did
But
she?
she's
No?
also observant, so maybe she's already seen him walking around and seen his name
Maybe.
tag. But I don't know.
I'm like, but also, I think I don't know any reason why she wouldn't have said anything if she realized. I don't feel like there would be any, like, she didn't do anything to him. Right? I mean, they just talked at that gas station. He gave her the sunglasses. So I don't know why she'd be like top secret about who she is.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I don't know. Just when she goes, "Hey, Joe," it just seemed like, I don't know. I just got this funny feeling the last time I watched it. And I was like, I didn't recognize that before, but this time when I watched it, I recognized it. And I was like, maybe that's just my mind trying to, because I want them to know each other so bad at this point.
He almost told her, but that's last episode.
What's up, Shelby?
I think she knows.
You do?
Think she knows?
Yes, because one, Georgia doesn't do anything for no reason. She overthinks everything. And I think that she found him in Wellsbury and she decided that she was going to go back for some unknown reason that we don't know right now. But I think that she decided that she was going to go back and find him, and she figured out that he owned that little store, and she went there to see what he was up to. And she's just playing it cool right now.
Yeah.
It might be because he was so nice to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like, you know what? That was a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah. But
maybe,
why would she have told him by now? Because now she's proven that, I mean, she knows for a fact that he actually is a genuinely nice guy. So,
well, she might be in Georgia and say, well, I can tell Joe who I am and complicate things.
Yeah.
Or I have Paul in the palm of my hand right now. He has way more money than Joe. He's the mayor. She'd be, if she married him, she'd be the mayor's wife. That's about as high as you can get in a town.
But then there's the point when he mentions that he has a horse named Milkshake. So obviously you made an impact on him too. So he remembered, she knows that he remembers her if she's remembering all this. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I think she's holding her hand tight and trying to play her cards right.
Yeah.
She's very, very this is kind of a weird way to say it, I guess, but manipulative in a way, but she's also really, really smart.
Yeah.
And I think
calculated.
She's doing what?
Calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing, and I think that she is just trying to hold her hand tight and play her cards right. I think that she has Paul in the palm of her hand right now, and she's leaving that as it is, and then once that goes south, if it goes south, then she'll use Joe for whatever she wants to use Joe for.
She kind of has a backup.
And however that goes. And she's just going to keep going and going and going.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. So season 2 comes out February of 2022. By the way, I did look it up today so we know when it is coming out.
Can't wait.
I cannot wait. The only thing I want to see is Georgia and Joe and Ginny and Marcus.
Yes, I agree.
And I want to see Max happy. Max needs to find somebody. She has a crush on somebody by the end, doesn't she? Am I thinking wrong?
Well, she did, but then that doesn't work out.
That's right.
Remember, Sophie broke up with her at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want Max to find somebody and be happy. I think everybody would be happy in that show if Max found somebody and was, happy.
Yeah.
Like she said, there's not a lot of lesbians in that school.
I know. Poor thing.
She doesn't exactly have the pick of the litter. So
no.
Poor girl.
I like how they just assume they're like, well, she's lesbian, you're lesbian. Because
right.
You can't just go stuff in my soapbox for that one. But
so ladies, should we give out our code word?
We should give out our code word. How that's going to work is every podcast that we do, from the podcasts that are premiering on July 28th through August 30th.
31st.
Yeah, I think we're going to give out the information on the 30th just so that we had that kind of day before the end of the month. So listen to all the podcasts, gather as many code words as you can find. August 30th, one of us will be giving out the information on how to get your code words to us to qualify for a present gift awesomeness from us mailed to you. So we're not just going to make you an edit, guys. We're actually going to mail you something, and you might have some say-so in it. So we think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So who wants to give everybody our code word?
Oh, I want to. The code word is peach. For those of you listening, the code word is peach.
Peach. Peach.
Peach.
Or the nickname that Georgia calls Ginny.
And Zion calls Georgia.
Yep.
Yep.
Their little peach, Georgia peach. All right. So that's our code word for this podcast. Write it down. Don't forget it. Give it to us on the 30th. All right.
All right.
Let's continue, guys.
All right. I'm looking at the notes. I think we have, at the end of episode 1, I mean, we sort of touched on this, but we see what really happened to Kenny.
Yeah.
Which didn't shock me. I thought he was kind of creepy. I don't know. I just kind of got that vibe when she was at the funeral that there was something up. Like,
you saw at this very last of the part where they're doing yoga and he's running his hand all the way up Jenny's leg.
I mean,
I think that is why she did what she did.
Yeah.
Because he touched her daughter and
that's something that she experienced, and she wasn't going to let that happen again.
No,
should she have murdered him? I mean, probably not.
No.
But as a mother, I don't know. I'm not mad at her.
No, I mean, and it's just a show.
Yeah.
If it was
obviously I don't condone
feelings, but it's a show.
Real murder, but I also don't condone creepy old men touching teenage girls. So
no.
Yeah. Again, we do not condone violence. We just support it on TV shows.
Right?
No. Kenny was
be a good person and none of this is going to happen. That's the moral of the story. He was not a good person.
Well, that's my mantra in life. Be kind, do kind things, and kind things will happen to you.
Exactly.
It's not hard. That's how I live my life.
If you don't, you might find yourself with a poison smoothie. That's what happens.
Exactly. All right. So let's jump into episode 2.
Yeah.
That was only episode 1, guys.
I actually think we covered
some.
I think there's a lot of overlap.
There is. So let's kind of start discussing. So episode 2 opens up with Georgia waking up Ginny extremely early in the morning because she has a chin hair.
I love it.
This is one of my most favorite parts in the show, just because it's so, I don't know, real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that she actually gets up and she plucks it for her.
And then she laughs and they talk about how long it is. And
it's like, oh, wow, it's really long. And George is like, would you just pluck it?
Which is, by the way, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you did not have to wake up your kid to do that. You could have done that in the mirror yourself. But I don't feel like that's how Georgia is.
No.
She needed to involve Ginny in this chin plucking.
Yeah. It was funny. I don't know. I liked it.
So I did kind of like their little speech. It's like, I made a note of it. I like their little speech that they kind of do about the whole makeup. Like your makeup is your mask to go out.
Yeah.
And even at the end of the episode, I'm just going to go ahead and discuss all this now. At the end of the episode, they kind of finish it off with, if you can see where your makeup stops and your skin begins, then you're not wearing your mask correctly or whatever they said. So I just, that was so, I like their
Georgia.
little.
Yeah, it's a face, not a mask.
Yeah,
it's a face, not a mask. Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. It's a face, not a mask.
I think I thought it was sad.
Yeah, it was.
Hear it, because it's like, man, that just means that Georgia, she's never being herself. She's always got her mask on, and it's, I hate that for her.
I did too. I want to know what the real Georgia is.
Yeah.
Is it what we see in her bedroom when she's alone at night? Is it how she's acting with,
I think
you
it's
know,
how
Ginny
she
and
is with the
Austin?
kids. I think so.
That's why
And
I
I think honestly, I think we see a lot of the real Georgia when she's with Joe, like in their interactions, you know?
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
So after that, and they discuss how their collarbones are so sexy. Um, we let's go jump to George's first day of work.
Yes.
So she starts working with Nick and Paul.
Uh-huh.
The only two I know their names of right now.
Yeah.
So I wrote down in the notes, obviously Nick has a crush on Paul.
Oh yeah.
You saw that immediately.
Who
Big
wouldn't?
time.
Who wouldn't?
And they're talking about the weed dispensary in
Mhm.
town, which by the way, I went to, it's so perfect and so hilarious that the weed dispensary is next door to Cynthia.
I love
That made
it.
me giggle.
It's just perfect.
So funny.
I was like, oh no. I mean, I don't think I would like that next to me either. So not that I have anything against it. I just don't think I could get any work done smelling that all day.
right.
That's where my mind went. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I would get nothing done. That would be awful. So after that, you kind of see Georgia looking at her bank account. Did any of you guys notice how much she had left?
I didn't notice how much.
She only has like a little over 800 left.
That's to not have a job. That's not much because how much is that house payment? Probably.
I
a
think
lot.
so. Below that, I think it's like 4,000 something a month.
Yeah.
Like you see like negative red. It's like 4,800 something, and it goes negative 4,800 something. I think that may be the house payments. I'm not.
I mean, I can.
You can't quote me on that. I don't know, but
It's a
It
fancy
sounds
house, you know.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
sounds accurate. That's a pretty fancy house in
In New England.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So
yeah. To me, 4,800. That's when I saw 4,800 coming out of her bank account.
Yeah.
I was like, that
probably about
has to be the house.
Mhm.
That's which I'm like, if she had that money, like at the beginning, she had the money. Why wouldn't she just go ahead and buy the house? Why is she, or maybe that's her mortgage payments, I guess.
It's probably your mortgage, yeah.
Maybe she did buy the house. I was kind of wondering if she's buying or renting, but I think she bought.
I think she bought.
Now that I thought about it. Okay. Ignore me then. So I wrote that down. So we know she's almost out of money.
Mhm.
And I wrote down Nick is not falling for Georgia, which just made me laugh even harder.
Yeah.
Because finally somebody that doesn't just mouth hanging open when they see Georgia. He's like, hey, you don't do
No.
nothing for me.
Not his type, you know.
So I love that part. And then Ginny goes and gets the Plan B pill, which we've already discussed.
Mhm.
Austin gets Star of the Week.
Sweet little boy.
And then Zach's mad because he's supposed to be Star of the Week.
I know.
And then
it's
Cynthia gets mad.
It's such a kid problem too. I mean, I do feel for him if he was supposed to be star of the week. I mean, it is a little unfair to like take that from him.
Yeah.
Looking at it from like an adult parenting perspective, like
Yeah.
or I mean, couldn't you have done like, you know, let him share star of the week, let him be dual stars, like make
Something,
it up
you know.
somehow. Like
You
I
have
can
room
understand
in
where
your
a
day
small
to
child
do 2 instead of 1.
would have gotten really upset about that. I mean, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's not like Austin would be like, I want Star of the Week.
Right.
Just, I don't know, Eve, you're the teacher here, but was it fair of the, in your thinking, was it fair of the teacher to take away Star of the Week for Zach and give it to Austin?
I think so. I don't think it was such a bad thing. But then again, I teach 5-year-olds and 5-year-olds wouldn't be as upset as Zach was.
True.
So I think the kids I work with would just be like, oh, it's supposed to be my turn, but okay, you can have my turn. Like
Yeah.
they don't really care as
And
much. But I
nice
thought
age.
Cynthia's reaction was a little out there because I was like, I get why your kid is upset because he's a kid. It's
Right.
like you're supposed to be the adult
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And you're in the streets yelling with Georgia about Star of the Week. And Ginny's like, what's Star of the Week? She's like, I don't know. I can only deal with one crisis at a time.
Well, especially since it's not like Georgia had any control over that. Like,
I know, that was my thinking. I was like,
Georgia
if you were
didn't even
upset,
know-
you would go to the teacher.
Yeah, Georgia didn't even know what the heck she was talking about. She's like, Star of the Week? What the heck are you talking about, lady?
And I mean, as a parent, like, maybe I would be perturbed that it happened to my kid, but I would not let him know that. I would tell him that it was okay, and I definitely wouldn't bring it up with a teacher over something so petty. It's just, I don't know. That's me. What do you think, Shelby?
The one thing I didn't understand is, was the Star of the Week something that was like cycled through every single kid, or was it like for good behavior, or what was it for?
I think they cycle through the children.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like a reward thing. It's just more like each kid gets to do it one day or something, or 1 week or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that was what I was confused about, because I don't understand why, like, if he was already Star of the Week before, like, why would it matter if he gave it to someone that's never done it before? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously Austin's new, so he's never gotten to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we find out later. I mean, it's not easy at home, and he was excited to bring his new drone and he wanted to show it off. I totally understand why he was upset by it, you know.
I can't really blame the kid. You know, it's not the kid.
Yeah. I mean, kids don't
the parents
react rationally, but you know, Cynthia was out of line. Totally.
Yeah. So we see Austin making his project. How sad was that?
Oh
my gosh.
I almost don't like how Georgia has let him believe that so much. I mean, I can understand a little bit, but I think at this point it's hurting him to allow him to continue believing that. I mean, at some point you have to be honest with your kids, even if it's a tough truth. You just have to tell them what's going on.
Yeah. Well, we see how he reacts whenever he finds out. We're not going to get there yet, but we all know how that goes for her. And I also kind of find it funny that she looks at Ginny when she's saying Star of the Week, when Cynthia's bringing up Star of the Week, and Ginny's like, I don't know. But isn't Ginny the one who brought him to the store to get all this stuff?
Well, she was probably worried about her Plan B pill. She wasn't really worried about what he needed, you know?
I'm like, this poor little boy is.
He is. He's so ignored.
His own world.
I know. I mean, he goes off into the woods, like, playing as Harry Potter, like, after Dementors and stuff. And I'm like, he's like 7. Like, what in the world?
I don't know. That poor boy. That's what I kept thinking about.
Kid needs
like,
therapy, which we'll talk about in future episodes here, but
yeah, they both do.
Definitely.
So when I like whenever they go to that little basement party and Ginny gets home and Georgia's just sitting in the dark room.
And she's like, how are the movies? And Ginny was like, come on, Mom, I know that we weren't at the movies.
Yeah.
But I like that she told her, did you smoke weed? Yeah, I did.
I love that.
Okay. I'm like, that was such a.
I think that shows, I don't know, in my opinion, that shows Georgia is a good mom, that Ginny feels like she can trust her to tell her the truth about these kinds of things. Yeah. I wouldn't have told my mom that. I'd be like, no, not at all.
Yeah. She doesn't feel like she needs to lie to her.
I'm pretty sure I did lie about that several times. You know what I mean? Like, I would have never been honest with my mom like that.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that's coming up next that she does hide.
I know.
And it just completely broke my heart. And she's, I don't know, that could be a trigger for some people.
Yeah, maybe we should.
We can't really discuss that too much. So
yeah,
she's self-harming.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that, put it at that. So we figured that out. And so the next day she confronts Marcus in the hallway, which was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Tells him that she took a plan B, so he has nothing to worry about anymore. By the way, guys, you usually don't. No, she tells him that later. I like her little speech when they're in the bedroom. By the way, the guy's usually supposed to buy that.
She's like, these hormones are racing through my body. And he's looking like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. You know, he's so like just scared by her reaction.
Yeah, he tries to sleep with her again. Not the thing to do. Not the thing to do.
Poor guy.
My goodness. So let's see. Austin gets made fun of for his project in class.
It's so
That made me so sad. And it was all that stupid Zach's fault.
That's why he deserves to be punched in the face.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. I don't know. I have to apologize. I don't actually condone.
He didn't really get punched in real life.
He's bullying.
He's a bully. And bullies need to be taught their lessons sometimes.
Don't bully other people.
Especially not Georgia Miller's son.
I mean, I can tell you, if my kid comes home and tells me they punched someone else because the kid was bullying them, they're not going to be in trouble. I'm just saying.
I was always taught don't start a fight, but don't walk away without finishing one.
I don't know. I do tell my girls to try to walk away.
That's what I tell my boys too,
though.
but
I don't know.
I don't need you to start the fight, but I do want you guys to know how to defend yourselves if you ever have to.
Yeah.
My boys were in Muay Thai for a long time.
Well, Austin's just so sweet. I feel bad for him.
All right. So I'm going to kind of skip a lot because we've
talked about a lot.
We've talked about most of this,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want to go kind of back to where right after Ginny gets in trouble for stealing, Georgia makes her get a job.
Yeah.
And again, she somehow windles her way into Joe to give Ginny a job. This poor man.
Joe. Do you love the way she says Joe? I don't know. I love it.
I do too. I like everything she says.
The whole job thing. Like, I know Georgia has some questionable parenting techniques, but the whole job thing, I think, was one thing that, like, she did right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she got caught stealing. All right. You know what? You want to steal, you're going to start working. I think that's a good punishment.
Yeah.
I think I felt mortified for Ginny when, like, Georgia walked into the store and she was she was telling off everybody who would listen, and poor Ginny sitting in there like, I know I did something wrong, Mom. Like, let's just leave, please.
Yeah.
It's racist. It's a racial, I can't remember her words she said.
I don't remember what she said either.
Discrimination.
I think she came storming in.
Discrimination.
She was like, my daughter didn't steal anything. She's like, Mom, I did it.
I love that. So she swings that door open. My daughter didn't steal anything. Boom. First thing. Yeah, I did. What?
Georgia is the definition of like a ride or die, though. Like, she's on her kid's side no matter what.
Absolutely. I mean, they may get punished when you're at home, but in front of everybody else, I mean, she's got your back 100%. The only thing that's like smack dab in the middle of your notes that we haven't said is like a quick little thing, and it's the Mang saying, which I think is so cute.
Yes.
The love you, mean it, hate you, kidding. I think it's so funny. I like it a lot.
It's so teenage popular girl.
It is.
But it's such an awful word. Mang.
Oh.
And before that, they were just man.
I know.
Yeah, that was fine. I liked man, and then they were Mang. I was like, that is just such a cringy word. Like,
yeah,
Mang. And my favorite part is later on when they're wearing the shirts. Mang.
Yes, I love it.
And I remember Ellen and Georgia were talking about that once too, and Ellen was like, I just don't have the heart to tell them that it's just such a terrible word.
Let's see. I'm skimming here to see what, just because we
really the last page. I'm on the last page already.
Yeah.
Unless you see something else.
Well, only I guess, but it kind of falls back in. I mean, really, that when Georgia holds up the gas station.
Oh yeah.
After Zion like walks back out in the flashback.
Do you think that's Zion, or do you think that was Georgia? Or Meg?
No, I mean, I think that was Georgia's plan. I don't think Zion knew that was happening.
Okay, that's why I've always kind of wondered that if
that's the impression
if they were
I
like
got.
A team, or
I mean, we strike me as that kind of guy.
Because we do
see for money. He didn't need
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we do see later on that the family that like he comes from a really good, like stable family too. So I have a hard time believing that he was in on that.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I think that's why she waited till he walked out to do it.
It kind of did shock me though.
Huh?
It did shock me though.
Yeah. And I think that's probably her protecting herself. That was probably money she put away for herself. Like, I don't know if I'm sticking with him or not. So I need to be a survivalist, and just put it away. So
well, she did.
She did.
I don't know. Ugh.
And then I guess we could go ahead and while we're talking about the flashback, I know it doesn't happen quite in this order, but when she goes back to her childhood home.
Oh yeah.
It was like cheering her on during that scene. Yeah. Again, here I feel I'm promoting violence, but I don't do well with people who child molesters. So,
he's a child molester and he beat the crap out of her.
Yeah.
I mean, she shot him in the hand.
I know. Come on. It could have been worse,
It was a warning shot. It was a warning shot to stay away, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it made her feel better. I mean, don't go around shooting people. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we don't really condone that,
We really do not.
This is not real life.
It's wrong. But if I'm talking about the show, then
that guy
I think that
he had it coming.
I think that Mary Georgia needed to do it for herself.
Mary Georgia.
In the flashback, she's Mary Georgia to me now.
I know, right?
It's how I differ it.
What
so
else?
yeah, other than that flashback, I think the only thing we really need to touch on is Georgia's opening up credit cards under Austin's name. This is where you first see it.
That is probably that's the one thing that I can't excuse. Everything else I can excuse. Yeah, Georgia does in my mind. That one really upsets me.
Yes.
Other than,
I mean, maybe she thinks she'll get that money and be able to pay him off and then cut him up and then, be good. Yeah. That's me trying to save face for.
I still think
Georgia.
In her head, she's doing what she thinks she has to do.
Yeah.
To provide for her kids. It's not right. And I mean, that's probably the thing that makes me the most mad as far as everything she does.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's the only part that really got me in the whole thing. I didn't like her writing the letters to Austin either. But
I think that came from a good place.
It did.
Even though it was wrong. Yeah.
What's up, Shelbs?
The credit card things, I was wondering if since she did it in Austin's name, that means that she did it in Ginny's before.
It's possible.
It's possible, but then also Ginny's father is a lot more involved in her life. So I feel like Zion would be upset if he found out that.
Is he paying child support?
I mean,
he's obviously highly involved because like Ginny talks to him all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's paying, but I mean, with the job that he has, like, it's not like he has a steady paying job. I mean, he's sort of.
Maybe he just sends money when he counts.
That's the impression I got.
Well, or Georgia can be like, I don't want anything from you. I can also see that being the case too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I don't think I think Zion gets off a little too easy on this. I mean, yes, it sounds like him and Jenny have a good relationship, but where has he been when all this other stuff has been happening? When they've moved around several times, when, obviously Austin's dad was a piece of crap that she was with. I don't know. I think we let him off too easy for not being there for him over that with all that stuff.
Well, and then we do learn later that it's really hard for Georgia and Zion to be anywhere near each other without, falling into bed again. So I think that's a part of it too. But I mean,
probably
get over it.
Yeah, I mean,
you have a kid. She needs you.
Yeah, I agree.
She's all kinds of messed up right now. So
yeah, there's a lot that needs to be uncovered with Ginny.
Yeah, I agree.
Because didn't Ginny find out about them sleeping together too, and she got mad about that too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That might be further in, but
yeah, it's. I don't remember what episode, but yeah, it's a little bit later. But yeah, she does that.
Zion hasn't come yet.
Right.
From
We've only
episode
seen younger Zion at this
He
point.
doesn't come until like episode 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's way later, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You're good.
You're good. We're all over.
I
the
wouldn't have
place.
no idea if I didn't watch it today.
Yeah.
I have
gotta
a
rewatch
horrible
it.
memory
There's
though.
stuff that you guys are talking about that I don't remember, so I gotta make it a point to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all
I
we can
will
do?
Well, I think that's it, guys.
I will say that I did not love Georgia until the second time I watched. Like the first time I was like, she is shady and she is just up to no good. And then the second time I watched, I was like, nah, I love her.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I loved her from the first second.
That's because me and Amanda have issues. So.
We like the bad guys.
We do. We do.
I feel like that's normal.
I think it's normal. For us,
According to
it's
my TikTok, it's normal. Okay.
because our algorithm gets us,
TikTok
right?
says that you're normal. So
Yeah,
Mhm. It
definitely.
does. Yeah, lots of normal things come up around my TikTok.
All right, guys. I think we have covered everything.
Yep.
Everyone listening, if there's anything we missed, I can't imagine that there is because we've talked for almost 2 hours now. But if there's anything we missed, let us know. If there's anything that we said that you don't agree with, that you think we're absolutely crazy, or something you did agree with, feel free to tell us your thoughts on that too. If there are things you want to hear in the future, tell us that. We love to hear your feedback. We have lots of ways to get in touch with us. You can email us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. You can find our Facebook group, Ginny and Georgia Miller Family Fan Club. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, Family Fan Clubs, and recently on TikTok, FB Family Fan Clubs. Make sure to rate us, subscribe so you'll see upcoming episodes. And then tune back in, I think Wednesday, we're talking One Tree Hill. So you'll hear that episode. It'll be all things Brooke Davis. So that'll be
Woohoo.
something you definitely don't want to miss.
Mm-mm.
And then I think Sunday we've got Grey's Anatomy coming up, our top 10 favorite couples, which will be so
It's gonna be very dramatic.
That'll be a fun conversation.
it'll be
for
juicy.
Ooh.
Sure. Very juicy, very juicy. So make sure to join us. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.